A heart-wrenching scene of a young Zimbabwean mother, full of terror, who has just given birth alone in a dense forest near her village. She is seated on the forest floor, cradling her newborn child with a mix of fear and love. Her face is covered in sweat, and her hands are stained with blood from her severe postpartum bleeding. The background reveals a dark and foreboding forest, with tall trees and a setting sun casting long shadows, accentuating the gravity and vulnerability of the situation. Her face is a mix of pain and fear as she clings to life, surrounded by fallen leaves and vines. In the background, the village can be seen, and the cries of the newborn baby echo through the forest. Tragically, the mother takes her last breath, leaving behind a small, helpless infant in the wilderness. A passerby finds the dead mother and her crying baby in the forest. He picks the baby up and calls for help. The newly born baby is taken by the visibly shaken man to a village grandmother who is known for raising the village orphans. Grandmother Viola decided to name the baby girl Munana, which means miracle, in her native Shona language. The baby's survival was indeed a miracle and a foreshadowing of the events to unfold in the helpless child's life. Ten years later, Munana, a 10-year-old girl who is far too mature for her age, with beautiful dark skin and braided hair, is seen sobbing as she carries heavy loads in the rural village. She wears a simple yet colorful dress, and her tear-streaked face conveys the weight of her labor. The background reveals the rustic village, with huts made of mud and thatch, and villagers working tirelessly in the fields. The overall mood is somber and heart-wrenching, with a sense of injustice and struggle. She yearned to be in school just like most of the village children. Ever since Grandmother Viola passed away 2 years ago, life as she knew it became tougher, and all the orphans were either used as cheap laborers or married off to men thrice their age. Munana knew that it would soon be her turn, and she felt nauseous at the thought of it. In the depths of Munana's being, the echoes of Grandmother Viola's tales reverberated with a poignant resonance. Those stories, woven with threads of wonder and longing, had become the lifeblood of her existence. They were her sanctuary, her solace, in a world that threatened to confine her spirit. But now, standing at the crossroads of her fate, Munana could no longer bear the weight of her predetermined future. The thought of surrendering herself to a man weathered by time, old enough to be her father, sent waves of anguish crashing through her soul. She refused to be shackled by the chains of convention, to become a mere pawn in a game she had no desire to play. Oh, the searing pain that gripped her heart as she remembered the tragedies that had scarred her tender youth. The memory of Yanai, her cherished friend, snuffed out like a delicate flame extinguished before its time. Just 12 years old, Yanai succumbed to the merciless jaws of childbirth, mirroring the fate that had befallen Munana's own mother. The weight of loss bore down upon her, an unbearable burden that threatened to consume her entirely. Driven by an unyielding resolve, Munana embarked upon a desperate flight through the moonlit village that had been her home. Her feet propelled her forward, fueled by a mixture of fear, determination, and an insatiable hunger for freedom. Breathless, she pushed her body to the limits, racing beyond the boundaries of familiarity, as if chasing after an elusive dream. For Munana, this was not merely an escape. It was a declaration of her existence, a testament to her unwavering belief in a destiny of her own making. With every step, she cast aside the shackles of tradition, embracing the unknown with open arms. The tumult of emotions within her, fear, hope, uncertainty, and resilience, collided like crashing waves, propelling her forward, propelling her toward a future yet unwritten. Munana, her heart pounding with a cocktail of trepidation and anticipation, found herself in a village marketplace. In the cloak of darkness, she crouched behind a weathered stall, seeking refuge until the arrival of the sun's golden embrace. The air crackled with the symphony of voices, a chorus of animated chatter, intermingling with the rhythmic cadence of footsteps that danced across the dusty streets. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, Munana's weary eyes fluttered open. A surge of wonder washed over her as she beheld the spectacle that unfolded before her. The marketplace, once a mere backdrop to her dreams, now unfurled like a vibrant canvas of life. Stall after stall, teeming with wares and treasures, whispered promises of untold stories and hidden wonders. Amidst the cacophony of sounds, a sudden rumble jolted Munana from her reverie. Her gaze was drawn to a colossal beast of metal and glass, a bus, as it emerged from the dusty streets. A flicker of realization sparked within her. This bus, this vessel of possibility, held the key to her liberation. With a surge of determination, she stepped forward, her countenance a portrait of unwavering resolve. The girl's silhouette, backlit by the vibrant hues of the awakening sky, exuded an air of authority. Her eyes, alight with a fierce determination, met the bus head-on. Fearlessly, she planted herself in its path, a solitary figure against the world. In that moment, the bus became a metaphor for her dreams, and she, the intrepid protagonist of her own story. Without hesitation, Munana boarded the bus, her pockets empty of currency but brimming with the currency of hope. Each step carried her deeper into a realm of the unknown, where destinies were shaped and adventures unfolded. The world outside the bus window blurred into a kaleidoscope of colors, a vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of life. In the background, the villagers continued their daily rituals, their routines a backdrop to Munana's audacious leap into the realm of possibility. The market, once a melange of muted tones, blossomed into a symphony of hues. A vivid palette of fruits, fabrics, and crops spilled forth, painting the scene with an intoxicating blend of aromas and visual splendor. Empowerment permeated the air, mingling with the wisps of nostalgia that clung to the bustling market. Munana, propelled by a sense of purpose, embarked on a journey that would redefine her very existence. Adventure beckoned from every corner, as if the universe itself conspired to unveil its secrets. Munana navigated the crossroads of her destiny, fueled by the heady cocktail of empowerment and nostalgia. With every beat of her heart, she embraced the unknown, stepping into a vibrant world where dreams were forged and destinies were rewritten. As the bus approached the nearest city, a man with a threatening look asked Munana for the bus fare. Dramatically and poignantly, Munana is forcefully thrown out of the bus, her face etched with sadness and determination. As she landed on the unforgiving ground, a heaviness settled upon her spirit. Tears welled in her eyes, yet amidst the sorrow, a flicker of unwavering resolve burned within her. She refused to crumble beneath the weight of her circumstances. The surroundings whispered tales of hardship and endurance. The scorching sun beat down, casting harsh shadows upon the concrete landscape. But in the midst of this desolation, Munana remained steadfast, her spirit unyielding. With tear-stained cheeks and a heart burdened by disappointment, Munana stood alone, Her eyes, filled with a mix of pain and determination, bore witness to a fire that refused to be extinguished. In that moment, she made a silent vow to rise above the trials that had befallen her and began to sing. Munana had an angelic voice. With a voice as delicate as a whispering breeze, she sang her favorite song, unaware of the profound connection that lay buried within its notes. The melody danced upon her lips, carrying the weight of 1,000 memories yet to be unveiled. Little did she know that this very song, the sweet lullaby that flowed from her soul, was the very same melody that had cradled her existence in the tender embrace of her mother's womb. As the words escaped her lips, a cascade of emotions unfurled within her, embracing her like a warm embrace from the past. The lyrics, like tendrils of shared history, wove themselves around her heart, bridging the gap between generations. In each note, in each gentle rise and fall, a timeless bond whispered its secrets. Unbeknownst to her, the song carried the echoes of her mother's tender voice, a voice that had nurtured her before she took her first breath. It was a melody that had reverberated through the sacred space where she was formed, where the love of a mother had cradled her tender being. In the depths of her soul, a connection forged long before her conscious awareness began to blossom. In that moment of blissful ignorance, she sang with all the innocence and joy of a child, unaware of the threads of fate weaving their tapestry around her. The song became a vessel, carrying not only the beauty of the melody, but also the profound legacy of a mother's love. Tears welled in her eyes, shimmering like pearls of remembrance, as the realization washed over her. The song that had nestled within her heart had been a constant companion, an invisible thread that bound her to her mother, even in the absence of conscious understanding. It was a testament to the unbreakable bond that transcended time and space, a bond that whispered of love, sacrifice, and an unspoken promise to carry forward the legacy of a mother's embrace. Munana's stomach growled, a relentless reminder of her hunger as she wandered the unfamiliar streets of the city. Fear clutched at her heart, tightening its grip with every passing moment. She felt lost, overwhelmed by the cacophony of bustling crowds and towering buildings that seemed to swallow her whole. In the midst of her despair, Munana's gaze fell upon a blind musician, his weathered fingers gracefully strumming a guitar, his voice carrying a melancholic melody through the air. A spark of inspiration ignited within her, a glimmer of hope amidst the shadows that surrounded her. Summoning her courage, she distanced herself from the blind man, her voice quivering with both fear and determination. She began to sing, her voice soaring like a bird released from a cage, effortlessly captivating the attention of passers-by. A crowd began to gather, their eyes fixed on Munana, their hearts touched by the raw emotion woven into her every note. As the applause swelled and coins rained down at her feet, Munana's heart fluttered with a newfound sense of possibility. The money collected was enough to ease the gnawing hunger that had plagued her for far too long. Fate, it seemed, had a peculiar sense of timing. Unbeknownst to Munana, her voice had reached the ears of an agent from a nearby recording agency. In a serendipitous twist of fate, he recognized the potential for stardom within her angelic tones. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, he approached her, his eyes widening in disbelief as he took in her disheveled appearance. Hesitant yet driven by the allure of her talent, the agent guided Munana towards the recording studio. This encounter marked the beginning of a journey towards a brighter future, one that Munana had only dreamed of while listening to her grandmother Viola's tales of the vibrant city. However, the path ahead would not be without its trials. Munana would face the harsh realities of an industry that often valued appearance over substance, a world where beauty was measured in superficial ways. Her journey would be fraught with disturbing events, challenges that would test her resilience and strength. But Munana was determined to fight for her dreams, to carve a life that mirrored the vibrancy of her grandmother's stories. With every obstacle she encountered, she would draw strength from the echoes of Viola's tales, weaving them into her own narrative of triumph and resilience. And so Munana embarked on a journey that would propel her towards the gleaming lights of the stage, her voice ringing out like a clarion call, a testament to the indomitable spirit that refused to be silenced.